we all say bad things about AIFF, but they all need to understand that AIFF is not a cash-rich
करेक्ट
organization, right?
वो BCCI नहीं है जो तुम IPL में देखते हो.
The thing is, हमने इतना ज्यादा IPL देख लिया है, इतना क्वालिटी देख लिया है कि हमें लगता है कि वो
वही सच है,
वही सभी जगह पॉसिबल है. They are doing a fantastic job with that kind of budget.
Okay.
Right?
This is the first time that I'm hearing this.
और मैं सबसे बड़ा सपना तब सक्सेसफुल होगा जब वो ग्रासरूट से ऊपर आएगा, ऊपर आके हमारे क्लब के लिए खेलेगा, हमारे क्लब से इंडिया के लिए खेलेगा. जिस दिन मैंने वो एक जर्नी देख ली, then I'll feel my dream. I am able to achieve my dream.
We're at the home of the champions of the I-League, Mohammedan Sporting, and I had the absolute honor to talk to Mr. Dipak Kumar, the founder of Bunker Hill Sports, the major stakeholder in Mohammedan Sporting. We had a long conversation about his idea of collaborating with Sporting Mohammeden and at the same time his vision with the club, how they sort of achieved the seemingly impossible task of winning the I-League and how the club recovered from a 30-40 year period of dull to now being finally the champions of the I-League. The interview is absolutely phenomenal, one I would definitely recommend. So stay tuned and watch the entire interview. You'll definitely gain something out of it. It almost felt like, the sleeping giants of Indian football had to, get themselves back. And I think that is exactly what has happened. Mohammedan Sporting are finally the champions of the I-League, and I have with me the man who made it all possible. I have Mr. Dipak, who is the founder of Bunker Hill Sports, the major stakeholder in Mohammedan Sporting. Dipak sir, welcome to Football Unplugged, and thank you so much for accepting the invitation.
Thanks for inviting me for this conversation, and very excited about it. And yeah.
Perfect. So, Dipak sir, when you knew, right, when you got to know कि अब champions बन चुके हैं, right, the last match, because you led in the first half, then you led in the beginning, then Srinidhi Deccan scored, and then you scored finally. So what was the emotion of the last match, right, when you were supposed to become the champions?
The last match was thrilling, It was one of the toughest match that we played last year. If you see that particular match, the first half we scored within 1 minute.
2 minutes, yeah.
It was 60-second goal.
Yeah.
And then after that, Shillong Lojong just attacked on us. They all boys went crazy on us. And they were attacking. And that was the 15 to 20 minutes period where our hearts were on our mouth.
Yeah,
how they were like, and I really want to appreciate that. The way they were coming back. After that, after the half time, we made some changes and it clicked, and then they scored, and it was 1-1. And the last, that was one of the best goal of I-League for us, that Koslov did, and it was last 30 seconds even was nerve-wracking for us, that we were almost there, but going there was one of the toughest match that we played.
Do you now finally feel the weight is off your shoulders, finally now having made Mohammedan the champion of the I-League?
I will not say the weight is off, but yeah, it was a relief that yes, we have achieved it, because it was a long 4-year journey for us to be here. But we feel that it's more responsibility on us now.
Oh, correct.
Because we are on the top tier of Indian football, which is way more challenging than what it is to be in I-League and second division. So yeah, more responsibilities, but at the moment we are just enjoying the success, and we after getting the trophy, we will start planning for next year.
Perfect. So I'm very curious to know, like, how did this, how did Bunker Hill, and the collaboration between Mohammedan came into existence? Like, what was the story behind it? How did this all come into existence?
So if you know about Bunker Hill is a TV show in US. It's a hospital.
Okay.
So it's a hospital which takes patients but no other hospital takes.
Oh wow.
So that was our idea about this sports company. So if you see, our previous experience with Bunker Hill was Taekwondo. Taekwondo was zero in India. Then we started Peace Taekwondo Academy with Vinay Kumar Singh, one of my main founders. And at the moment it is the biggest Taekwondo Academy in India.
Wow.
Highest number of weight categories, #1 player in India. We have international medals as well.
Wow.
Similarly, we wanted to do something for football because I came from Bengal, born and brought up here. So football is always my first love, you know.
Yeah.
So after searching everything, we found Mohammedan Sporting is one of the biggest opportunity that aligns with our vision, you know, that we want it. They are one of the sleeping giants.
Correct.
And huge potential, biggest fan base in India. So we did a market research survey. We identified that this is the one of the few clubs in India which has got pan India fan base. So and then we came here and then we met our fans and all. Then we realized these fans deserve more because at the time they were playing third division of Indian football. We call it I-League 2.
Yeah.
So then that's the time we make a promise to ourselves that yes, we'll take this club where it deserves to be.
And like, what was the conversation between, the sporting, the Mohammedan Sporting management or the people, and what was the vision that you sort of presented to them?
Yeah, initially it was tough, because they have been running this club in a certain style for almost decades,
Correct.
This particular administrators, and they have a particular style of working. They know their football a bit differently, that how football has moved on to, and they being not there on the top tier has also impacted that the learning process was not there.
Correct.
So initially when the conversation happened, they didn't feel that it's possible, honestly speaking.
Okay.
They felt like it's going to be very tough. We have been behind so long, but they were happy to have us. But then we said, like, the conversations were more towards how the working is going to be, the functioning of how the team selection process, how the coach identification, what all support staff we need. They want, okay, one mature is good enough. We don't need more. Why you want to spend more? Why you want to spend on strength and conditioning? On these all these medicines and everything. So those are the initial conversations that we have to have with them, that we wanted to bring. If you want to have success now, the way Indian football is going, you need to have a professional approach, and we will try to bring that in a kind of system in the whole process. And yeah, and it was a good learning period for them, and really want to thank the administrators here that they were open to the ideas and they let us work the way we wanted it to work. So yeah, it was tough initially, but with time we were able to get along really well, and now they really appreciate those efforts.
Wow. And again, people see all the frenzy and the now becoming the champions. The entire process is something that people don't really discover, right, sir? So when the deal finally materialized, right, what was your feeling? What was now your how did it feel, and now what was the plan for you, like when the deal finally materialized?
The deal is for planning for next 3 years. That's how we planned. Initially we planned for first 3 years.
Okay.
And we generally don't take too longer plans, not too short plans.
Correct.
Our every plan is 3 years, and we have a 3-year planning already started for how we're going to approach ISL. We need to have more money, more sponsors, and different approach to ISL, because ISL and I-League are two ball games.
Correct. Absolutely.
I will not say this one is better or that one is better, because both have its own challenges.
100%.
Right? ISL, the turfs and pitch are amazing, which you don't get in I-League. Right? Broadcasters are amazing, which you don't get in I-League. But I-League have been there for long. I-League have been the talent generating league for India.
I used to say, I say this in almost every podcast that I do, that I-League is still the heart and soul of Indian football, right? And the actual Indian players who develop and get game time in their position is the I-League.
Absolutely. See, ISL is rewarding for those talents.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But actual player get identified in I-League itself, because it's a tough league, and tough league means in one season, one player can become really star. Like for us, David is one of our Indian strikers.
Correct.
All India is looking for a striker, right? Correct. With a small success, he's so popular, right? So yes, I-League, I still feel, is the heart and soul of Indian football. My only thing is, like, if I-League can be developed, like invested, IFF can invest a bit more in I-League, and even ISL clubs should help I-League. Some kind of tie-up support, so that they can have these players identified for them. Then that can be a great model.
So in terms of AIFF, helping I-League, right? What do you think are some of the areas that AIFF, needs to get involved a bit more?
See, we all say bad things about AIFF, but they all need to understand that AIFF is not a cash-rich
Correct.
organization, right?
वो BCCI नहीं है जो तुम IPL में देखते
हो. The thing is, हमने इतना ज़्यादा IPL देख लिया है, इतना क्वालिटी देख लिया है कि हमें लगता है कि वो
वही सच है,
सभी जगह पॉसिबल है. बट मैं उनसे मिलता रहता हूँ. आई कैन सी देयर बुक, आई कैन हैव आइडिया ऑफ देयर बुक्स एंड एक्सपेंसेस एंड ऑल. They are doing a fantastic job with that kind of budget.
Okay.
Right?
And this is the first time that I'm hearing this.
No, because we realized that we have been one of the I-League club for last 3 years. Correct. Right? Yes, challenges are there, but still with those limited budgets, they have been doing the best possible they can.
Wow.
And only thing I say, like, AIFF is doing it, but if I-League will do well, ISL will do well. Correct. If Sunil Chhetri can be identified through I-League, it's the benefit of ISL only, right?
Correct.
We want more Sunil Chhetris.
Correct.
So if, as I said before, and we are working out a model, similar model, where we will have our channel created through I-League 1 and I-League 2, so that there is a complete flow of
a funnel
players through a streamlined process.
Right. And I think so. This is another question that I've asked another club owner is, philosophy, right? हम लोग देखते हैं ला मासिया के प्लेयर्स क्यों बार्सिलोना में जाके बड़े फिट इन करते हैं, right? Because उनका बड़ा सेट स्ट्रक्चर है, सेट फ्लो है, right? And I think that is something that the Indian clubs are missing because youth development उस हिसाब से नहीं हो रही है, youth grassroots पे इतना फोकस नहीं है, तो ultimately obviously फिर सुनील छेत्री का रिप्लेसमेंट कैसे ही मिलेगा?
Basically philosophy, that is the one of the prime target area for us. If you see, हम एक फिलॉसफी डेवलप करने की कोशिश करी है हमारे इस प्लेइंग स्टाइल में, फुटबॉलिंग स्टाइल में. आप मोहम्मदन स्पोर्टिंग के कोई भी गेम निकाल कर देख लेना लास्ट 3 ईयर से, प्लेयर्स बहुत सारे बदले हैं मगर स्टाइल वही रहा है.
करेक्ट.
दिस इज द फर्स्ट टाइम आई गेस इन मोहम्मदन स्पोर्टिंग हिस्ट्री कोई पर्टिकुलर कोच 3 साल तक हैज वर्कड ऑन द सेम क्लब.
करेक्ट.
बिकॉज मैंने बहुत बार बोला है कि इनिशियल प्रोसेस ऑफ कोच आइडेंटिफिकेशन वाज द टफेस्ट आस्क फॉर अस. वी इंटरव्यूड 50-60 coaches, hardcore discussions we had, and what we wanted, like, we interviewed Spanish coaches, we interviewed coaches from England, but somehow we found someone from Russia, but nobody generally bring a coach from Russia. But somehow when we talked to him, he was a big player. He has played the best possible leagues possible on earth, and he, as a player growing as a coach, we really connected well, what we wanted it to be. And that's what he said, if you bring me, I will not come for 1 year. I will come for 3 to 5 years, and you need to give me freedom. And whatever you will want, I'll give you that. And that's how it happened. Now initially this playing style has been on the senior team. Now it has been converted to our reserve team. But thing is, we are doing top to bottom approach.
Yeah.
Now it's being, when we identify a coach for our grassroots as well. Yeah. All play the same playing style.
And I think तभी वो club की identity बनती है, तभी all of this becomes sustainable. Right. And I think a lot of people don't really understand that how much cost does this save ultimately, because when you develop someone from grassroots, if that is a top player, right, उसके sales revenue आएगा, you probably don't have to spend the money on foreigners as well. And I think a lot of Indian clubs also need to adopt this, right?
Right.
So एक ना मुझे बड़ा, like, last year wasn't the best season for you guys, right? Mid-table finish था. At the beginning of the season, did you feel any different? Was there a different air? Like, was there a different vibe to the club? साल की starting में लगा था कि end of the season हो पाएगा after the disappointing season last year?
नहीं, trust तो हमेशा था, faith तो हमेशा था कि we will do it. The thing is कि इस ईयर को हमने थोड़ा डिफरेंटली अप्रोच किया था. जो हमारे 3 साल की लर्निंग थी, हम बैठ के बोर्ड टेबल बैठे थे, एंड वी पुल्ड आउट ऑल द बेस्ट एंड वर्स्ट पार्ट ऑफ आवर सीजन डिसीजन मेकिंग. जो भी डिसीजन हमने लिए थे. आप देखोगे इस साल हमारे पूरे टीम में जब सीजन स्टार्ट हुआ था, एक भी स्टार प्लेयर नहीं था.
करेक्ट.
दे वर ऑल स्काउटेड, दे हैड पोटेंशियल, एंड दे कोच wanted to play a kind of style. They fit in. They all fit in for that system.
Yeah.
So this year we have 13 players who have scored in the league for 13 different players. And so for this year, there's no particular star who has made us win this championship. For me, the whole system was a star here. So that's why everyone was able to contribute, and that's what it's going to be this playing style for us. Yes, playing star. It's very difficult to find stars. But if you stick to a system, like you may not be the champion, but your results will be always decent enough.
Now, sir, a difficult question here, right? Last year जब season खत्म हो, right? You finished 6th, 7th, right? Were there discussion that probably, difficult discussions होती हैं इस time पे? Did the coach come into the question that time? But ये आपका बहुत clear था, right? कि मुझे coach को 3 साल देने हैं, तो मैं उनको 3 साल दूंगा at least. So how was that sort of conversation? Because a lot of difficult conversations happen, when you particularly have a bad season. So what were the discussions like when it comes to the coach or the players? Were there any hard discussion that you had?
नहीं, discussions where फिर भी हमारे last 2 साल तक कोच में हम थोड़ा discussions करते थे, interference रहती थी. But this year we have given coach the free hand that we will not talk to you about who is playing, not playing, what's the approach for this particular game. We'll talk to you once the season get over. We'll sit and we'll talk about it, and accordingly next year we'll change our plans. So that was one of the things that coach asked for, and we gave him that. After that, last year, one of the reasons for our failure was we have taken too many star players. All have been playing for ISL for long. Then they almost their end of the career, they wanted to play I-League. Too many stars means too many difficulties in the dressing room, as well as they were not hungry enough.
Because they had probably done it, right?
So although it was a big budget team, but not what the coach wanted.
A team of stars, but not really a star team.
Correct. But one thing that coach said this year, I want all hungry boys who wanted. They haven't tested the success yet, and they want to taste the success. And that's how we scouted those players. Like I'll give an example. We have taken a goalkeeper, our main goalkeeper, from a relegated team. Nobody will do that.
Yeah.
They will go on stats and say, "Oh,
इतने गोल खाए इसने."
How can you take this particular goalkeeper? But the kind of saves he did,
and the quantum of shots that he might have faced, right?
Right. So that doesn't justify with those numbers.
Yeah. Wow. So, sir, आपने जब कहा ना, पहले probably शायद आप लोग ज़्यादा involved थे, right? Team selection में भी या team के process में भी, and now आपने जब coach को independent हो दिया, तो how difficult it is when you're especially pouring in a lot of money, right? And वो emotions भी होते हैं, you want to be involved in the entire process. So personally आप उसको कैसे separate रखते हो? And ये realization कैसे आई? मुश्किल होता होगा बहुत ज़्यादा.
ये learning थी ना last 3 year की. अब जब experience हो जाता है तो आप समझ जाते हो कि कुछ चीज़ों से कोई result मिलता नहीं है, आप चीज़ों को और खराब ही करते हो. So yes, emotional moments होते हैं when you feel like no, we lost a game. ये ऐसे नहीं, ऐसे होना चाहिए था. He should have played, that should have played. 10 guys will come to you. You should all
इंडिया में तो हर एक बंदा कोच है, हर एक बंदा एनालिस्ट है.
सबके पास ओपिनियंस है, राइट?
करेक्ट.
तो आप इन्फ्लुएंस हो जाते हो कभी कभी, एंड देन यू ट्राई टू चेंज दैट. बट दिस ईयर वी ऑल डिसाइडेड नो, we'll talk about whatever frustration we'll have, we will talk amongst ourselves and we'll keep it to ourselves. It will not go to coaches and the teams. We kept our team away from all these discussions.
And I so wish that, hopefully looking at the results that you guys, a lot of the corporates who are probably involved in ISL or I-League start doing this as well.
No, I think this is the way it should be.
Yeah.
If you have identified a coach, if you identified your team, you have made the team, right?
Correct.
So you need to have trust on that. आप midway जाके इसको trust हो नहीं सकते. Yes, end of the season you'll set and you'll learn. Next year you make the changes. That's how we have learned. So.
And I think जब एक coach और एक player को sense of security होती है ना, I think then he is free from the negative thoughts and he can actually give a lot in the sport, in the matches as well, actually.
Absolutely.
Sir, so this win is of extreme significance, both culturally, both in terms of sport, to the city, right? How do you think going forward, right? How do you think Mohammedan Sporting can contribute more into the society, both inside the game and outside the game?
See, Mohammedan Sporting coming to ISL is not only good for Kolkata football or Bengal football, it's good for Indian football as well. See, any sports is successful when fans comes to the stadium to watch it. That's my feeling.
Yeah, 100%.
If a sports is being watched on television, it's not success. Real success. Real success is that people take their time of the precious time of their life and then goes to a stadium and watches a match and cheer for a team, that's where the success is. And this team and their fans are those, you know. I'm damn confident that in ISL, Mohammedan Sporting is going to surprise the whole India with their numbers, you know. And these numbers going to add on. It will be a value add to ISL itself, you know. We all talk about average attendance in ISL, this and that.
Yeah.
But I am truly feel that Mohammedan Sporting coming into ISL will add on to that. And if we'll be able to have like increase the, apart from that, we'll have this 6 derbies, one Bagan, East Bengal.
Yeah.
The derby that used to be 1:1, now it's a triangular derby.
Correct.
It's more complicated, more media attention,
Correct.
and more attention. It's not that only our game you will see only Mohammedan Sporting and East Bengal fans will come. Now all East Bengal fans will come because they wanted us to lose or wanted us to win. So a lot of permutation combinations are there which will make this whole derby exciting. And so in terms of audience, this and this brand value, you know, that we will be able to add on to ISL. See, we also want to work a lot on grassroots. We have one center here. We have almost 800 kids in an academy.
Wow.
We have a residential academy. We have just opened in New Delhi, Gurgaon.
Oh wow.
So that has like a 250 capacity of footballers.
And are those scholarships or are those pay and play or how?
Both.
Both. Yeah.
At the moment it's 50-50, 50% scholarship, 50% paid.
Okay.
In the residential. Here it's like just a minor fees.
Oh wow.
Which is pretty nominal.
Nominal, yeah.
And we will identify all the areas where Mohammedan Sporting has fans, and our aim is to next 3 years to open at least 10 academies on those areas. Because we truly believe in identifying your own players rather than keep on buying. Because transfer market is getting crazier for Indians, right? You can't. We wanted to develop our own Davids. That's what I'll say.
And you know, 3 crore salary, 3 crore transfer fee, or wo, it's not sustainable for everyone.
Not sustainable for clubs as well.
Yeah. So, sir, now, you know, Indian football, you know, सबसे बड़ी problem है sustainability, right? Because of the expenses when you come to the top of the Indian Super League, right? Odisha FC is going through, Hyderabad FC is going through troubles, right? Pune City closed, Delhi Dynamos closed हुआ, बहुत ISL clubs closed हैं, right? Now, for you, how do you plan to grow sustainably, right? Because we don't want it to be a scenario कि 2-3 साल बाद यार, because, and not just because it's an ISL club, but because of the history that the club holds, right? And what impact it has created in the society. उनके क्या plans है? How do you plan to grow sustainably is still something that I want to sort of understand from you.
No, we are in talks with one very big investor.
Okay.
Who is coming along with us, who is going to be the majority investor of this club.
Oh wow.
And they are stable enough to keep us there for long. And because we all know, if we need to be ISL, you need to have a different budgets, bank guarantees and all those things. And as you said, we don't want to do it for 1 or 2 years. Maybe Bunker Hill can do it for 1 or 2 years, but we don't want that. We want sustainable. We are fine letting go our shares and whatever it is, but for us this club is emotion and love, and that's, we don't want to work just for working and for commercial values. Commercial value is always there, you know, you can work it out, but you need to have passion as well, and that's what we want. And we are in serious talks, and hopefully we'll give the good news to everyone very soon.
Perfect.
And
I would love to hear that very soon.
Yeah.
So sir, season में थे जब आप लोग, ठीक है, at what time did you realistically start feeling कि यार शायद ये this could be our year, हम जीत सकते हैं? What were those moments जब आपको बहुत distinctly याद है कि हाँ यार अब मुझे लगता है हम actually champion बन सकते हैं?
It was pretty surprising, you know. The first game of ISL we played and we drew. Coach came to me and said, this year we can be champion. We will be champion.
Wow.
This is the boy we wanted.
मुझे थोड़े goosebumps आ रहे हैं.
No, and I still remember those lines of him. Then, but for me, the real moment was when the first leg completed and we were 7 points difference. Yeah. That point I realized that second phase is always tougher than the first phase. For a lot of I-League clubs, there are reasons for it, you know, financial reasons and all. Then we realized if we are clear on the first season, we will sustain it in the next. And that's what it happened. I think we are still clear 8-9 points from other teams.
Perfect. And sir, सबसे difficult moments क्या थे इस साल के? or just for your overall experience while running Mohammedan, कि यार what was the lowest point that you had experienced जहाँ पे like यार fuck it, is this even worth my time, is this even worth it, right? So what was some of the lowest moments that you faced? Because you know people get to see all the fancy side, the beauty of it, right? But I want people to know everything that goes into running a club.
See, if you are investing in football, it's always a tough time. I'm being very honest about it.
Yeah.
Because you need to have patience, especially in sports, you know. You need to have patience. So उस patience में कभी-कभी problems आ जाते हैं, right? That ups आते हैं, downs आते हैं, और bottom, you see bottom as well, you know, in terms of last year when I tried to get sponsorship, not a single company wanted to sponsor because we were playing the second division. I really felt bad about it, like not a single guy, not a single company in whole India with 133-year-old history want to support a team. That was the worst feeling I had. But after that, this year we had then we started working towards it, then we got some sponsors as well. But especially last year, if I say, we really had a fantastic year. Like when we started playing Kolkata League, we lost just one game, and we were clear favorites and won it. Then in Durand, we played against Mumbai City. That was the worst game that we played. We lost by 3-0, 3-1, sorry. And that was the bad game we played last year. Apart from that, some tough games we had, like we played Delhi, went down, and we won the game. That was one of the toughest game that we played, 9 versus 11, and still we won the match, 2-0. And then the last match was, I still rate the last match is one of the toughest match of I-League last year for us.
So again, I think just hearing what you have to, I think is just beautiful. So again, stopping in between just to say congratulations, sir. You guys are just doing a phenomenal job. Okay, sir. Now like my goal as a fan, ultimate goal मेरा ये है कि भाई मुझे तो Indian team की growth देखनी है, right? मेरे लिए ultimate for probably all Indian fans, right? Ultimate goal Indian team की betterment है. Now disappointing AFC Cup, disappointing matches against Afghanistan, right? Question, अभी तक हमारे पास सुनील छेत्री की replacement नहीं है. अभी तक we're not able to create passes sometimes, right? Obviously one off days होते हैं, but pattern है. How do you imagine Mohammedan to be contributing to the national team? Are there any particular plans for that? Any goals of seeing X number of Mohammedan players representing the country? उसके लिए क्या आपका thought process है?
No, definitely. Our first goal is to, once we'll play in ISL, we want to contribute towards Indian football. So that's why our philosophy is to whole idea is to develop Indian football. We are not there only to win trophies, right? I'll give a small example. Maybe I should not be, but I'm giving example the way we are thinking, you know. That we will play with only one foreign striker and one Indian striker, because we want that we will be able to identify the Indian striker and will give him game time, no matter if we are winning or losing. Because yes, some games we will lose, that's fine, but we have a faith on our scouting process that whosoever will be there, he can be developed into a right for that particular position. Apart from that, like if you see, a lot of players got identified for India under 23, but due to our commitment, club didn't let them go because we were on the cusp of winning the championship. Yeah. But if in future something like that will come, we'll definitely let our players to go to play for India, because this not only helps the player, it also helps their confidence. You know. Correct. That once they'll play for India and they'll come back for the club, he will be a different person.
100%.
And a lot of clubs don't understand that fact. I am sorry to say that, and they don't want to let go their players for winning the championship on the fan pressure and all those there. But I think this is club's responsibility, that if Indian team will do well, things become very easy for us as well in terms of sponsorship, marketing, whatever we talk about, and the fans' success, you know, fans in the stadium. So definitely whatever plans we will do, we'll keep Indian football in mind.
Perfect. Now, in terms of also contributing to the greater good, right? Something apart from the sport. Are there any CSR plans currently in the pipeline? Is there any other scholarship programs that you specifically want to do? Because जैसे आपने कहा, fan से बड़ा कोई नहीं है गेम में, right? किसी भी sport में fan से बड़ा कोई नहीं है, right? And doing these activities will only garner more support for you, more, probably lifelong attachment, lifelong. Are there any particular plans, community engagement के लिए, community relationship better करने के लिए?
No, definitely we want to increase our budget allocation for grassroots development through scholarship.
Okay.
So that is, as I said before, our philosophy is to develop our own player, and that can only happen through grassroots development.
Correct.
So definitely, and I talked about opening different academies, and as I said, not all academies are going to be paid. We'll have a fine balance between scholarship and paid players as well. So definitely, our budget is going to be bigger, and in terms of foundations, it all depends upon the new company that is joining hand with us. Okay. So we need to sit and talk about all those new ideas, and then definitely we'll try to do best possible we can do for the Indian kids.
Final couple of questions. So one is, now when I was talking to Kanishk sir as well, he mentioned कि internationally भी plan है, and हमने अभी देखा, नॉर्विच की collaboration हो रही है, and हमने पहले देखा हुआ एथलेटिको मैड्रिड की और एथलेटिको डी कोलकाता की collaboration थी. Are there any such thought? Is there any such thought in mind? कुछ plans है international collaboration के लिए, player exchange programs के लिए?
No, absolutely. That is very important. If you want to, as I said, philosophy. But first we need to understand our philosophy and that particular club's philosophy need to match. Yeah. बहुत सारे tie-up हुए हैं, उसको कुछ benefit हुआ नहीं है.
Absolutely.
I'm being very honest.
Yeah, मैं उसी base के लिए.
And I've been approached during Indian I-League, because it's an old club. Yeah. 4 or 5 times with different clubs, they wanted to get associated with us. But when we sat on the table and what we are getting out of it, it was just a name tag and nothing else.
No mutual benefit.
No. So we'll explore, and but we haven't found the right club which we feel that हम tie up करेंगे तो tie up करने के लिए नहीं करेंगे. It will be a serious tie up, and that's what we are waiting for.
Perfect. And so, in terms of your personal goals, like ultimately क्या है कि if I am able to do this personally, right, then this is like a success for me. And from a club standpoint, similarly, when do you think that जो आपने this thought process से आपने invest किया था initially, that you've achieved that? क्या वो individual goals हैं, क्या वो club goals हैं आपके लिए?
मेरे individual goals तो हैं कि Indian team at least 4 से 5 Indian boys को मैं देखना चाहता हूँ from this club. इस क्लब ने इंडियन टीम में अभी जो करंट प्लेयर्स है, बहुत सारे क्लब्स को प्लेटफॉर्म दिया था.
करेक्ट.
जैसे मनवीर सिंह, he started his career in Mohammedan Sporting.
Correct.
But then he moved on to play from other clubs, and then he went there, right? But I want Mohammedan Sporting to have Mohammedan Sporting के थ्रू जर्नी से जाएं, और मैं सबसे बड़ा सपना तब सक्सेसफुल होगा जब वो ग्रास रूट से ऊपर आएगा, ऊपर आके हमारे क्लब के लिए खेलेगा, हमारे क्लब से इंडिया के लिए खेलेगा. जिस दिन मैंने वो एक जर्नी देख ली, then I'll feel my dream. I am able to achieve my dream. क्लब के लिए यही है. क्लब जैसे किसी भी हिस्ट्री ओल्ड क्लब के लिए होता है, दे वांट ट्रॉफी, बट वी विल सेट रियलिस्टिक गोल्स, एंड अकॉर्डिंगली समडे मोहन स्पोर्टिंग वांट टू विन ISL एज वेल. तो क्लब का एक नेक्स्ट सपना है टू हैव ISL ट्रॉफी इन आवर कैबिन.
And sir, देखो, talking about financial influx absolutely changing a club's trajectory, Man City का हमारे पास example है, right? Completely changed, right? Do you think Bunker Hill is going to be that for Mohammedan Sporting?
I do feel that is the perfect model, where a football team getting tied up, invested in other international club. But it's not easy to find. Very few clubs really wanted to get invested in Indian football at the moment. Eyeballs are there. They're all watching us. Different things are happening. Recently, one company is coming to Germany. They are taking kids from here, grooming them there. Lot of things are happening, but real type is that. But unfortunately, I haven't got such offer yet. But I love to, because that's where I feel the real model is, where philosophy is all about football, apart from commercialization.
Perfect. And again, sir, on a closing note, any final messages? One, to all the fans based out of Mohammedan Sporting, all the Mohammedan Sporting fans, for the journey that you've had with them for the last 4 years, and for the other football fans in the country, and anything, a message for them of, probably being wary of Mohammedan in the ISL, or just coming to join the revolution?
See, I really want to call all the fans, Indian football fans. There are two kinds of football fans in India. One, football fans who watches international football, and one is Indian football fans. And I really want to thank Indian football fans that yes, we are still not there, but you are there. Keep supporting us. in the faith that someday we'll do good and we will play a World Cup or we'll achieve bigger goals. And I want to call those football fans that please do watch Indian football. Even your watching helps us a lot. Your views helps us a lot in getting us sponsorships or value, so that it becomes better for us to invest more in Indian football. So your time is very valuable. If you can invest your time in Indian football, that will be that. In fact, you are helping Indian football to grow.
Perfect. Sir, again, इस चीज़ से एक लास्ट चीज़ है जो मुझे पूछनी थी बिकॉज ऑफ अ कन्वर्सेशन आई हैड विद समवन एल्स एज वेल. नाउ इंडियन फुटबॉल ना मेरी अंडरस्टैंडिंग से अभी भी मेजॉरिटी फैंस कम फ्रॉम टियर 1 टियर 2 सिटीज, राइट? बट रियल इंडिया टियर 3 टियर 4 छोटे छोटे गाँव है, राइट? एंड दैट इज वेयर द प्रॉब्लम इज, दैट इज वेयर फुटबॉल हैज नॉट बीन एबल टू probably replace cricket or even come close to cricket, right? How do you think that you are able to, connect with people at the ground level? एक गांव के बच्चे को एक मोहम्मदन स्पोर्टिंग या इंडियन फुटबॉल के साथ कैसे हम कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं? बिकॉज मेरे लिए जब तक वो चीज़ अचीव नहीं हो सकती, फुटबॉल विल नेवर रिप्लेस क्रिकेट और इवन कम क्लोज टू क्रिकेट एज अ स्पोर्ट इन द कंट्री.
For that, story is different for these year-old clubs. What I have seen is Bengal, Mohun, Bagan, Mohammedan Sporting. Their real fan base is in smaller towns because they have been watching us, hearing us in radios for ages, and that's where all these players which are come to our academy, they're all from smaller villages. So I don't know about, I'm not much aware about Bangalore, how the culture is in Bangalore or other cities, but for Calcutta this culture is there, that most of these footballers are coming from the smaller towns. But as I said before, infrastructure is the biggest challenge. The right coaching is the biggest challenge because they are not at the right age. They are not been identified. They are not been coached well. That's why they are not been able to come up. So if AIFF and ISL can help in improving this infrastructure, definitely we'll see motor traction, lot of talents coming from these smaller villages.
Perfect. So again, Deepak sir, thank you so much. I can't thank you enough for this, and more importantly, can't thank you enough for what Mohammedan Sporting has done for the footballing community in the country. And one thing that really stood out, and I think something that I genuinely hope happens, is one thing that you said कि मुझे ना एक अंडर 13 के बच्चे को अपनी अकेडमी से ले जाके इंडियन फुटबॉल टीम के लिए और अभी अपने क्लब के लिए सेंटर फॉरवर्ड खिलाना है, राइट? And I think that is such a big problem in the country, and I'm so glad that people are thinking like this, and people like you are, doing your bit for football in the country. Thank you so much for sparing the time, sir. Congratulations once again on this historic and momentous occasion. Thanks for having me, and it's been an absolute honor, and congratulations once again.
Thanks.
And I hope that ISL becomes a great success for you as well.
Thanks a lot. It was fun talking. It was really fun and talking to you. And thanks for covering Indian football. I have always special regards for anybody who is promoting football in India. And thanks.
Thank you so much.